Oh, Sheryl was replaced. They fired her. They kicked her off the game because it's Caitlin Clark.
A few months ago, Sheryl Swoops was out here talking like she had a crystal ball, predicting that Indiana Fever was a dead end, that nobody wanted to play there, and that Caitlin Clark wasn't pulling any top talent. She said it with her whole chest like she knew it was facts. Well, here we are. And guess what? Indiana just pulled off one of the biggest moves in WNBA free agency history. Big names, huge talent, game changers. And Sheryl? She's been real quiet. You ever see somebody disappear after talking all that talk? That's exactly what's happening right now. Fever just sent a message to the entire WNBA, and trust me, it's loud. So let's break it all down. How did Indiana flip the script? Why did players choose to sign with the Fever? And most importantly, how did Sheryl Swoops end up looking this wrong? But before we jump into the good stuff, take a quick second to like this video and subscribe to the channel. By joining our crew, you'll always be in the loop with the latest WNBA updates, expert takes, and breakdowns of big moves just like this. Don't miss out, we've got every angle covered. So hit that like button, subscribe, and let's dive right in. First off, let's talk about Indiana's free agency masterclass. Indiana Fever just took free agency and flipped it on its head. They went shopping like they had unlimited money in a video game. You know when your team in franchise mode signs every top free agent and you start feeling guilty for building a super team? Yeah, that's what just happened. Here's who they landed. Natasha Howard, a champion, defensive beast, and versatile scorer. DeWanna Bonner, a 6'4" walking bucket and veteran who can do it all. Sophie Cunningham, bringing energy, swag, trash talk, and an instant spark. And Sydney Colson, more than just a locker room leader, she's a glue player who makes every team better. And that's just the beginning. These aren't just role players. They're top-tier difference-making athletes who could have signed anywhere. And they chose Indiana.
Indiana Fever are that golden destination, and I can't help but laugh. People online and the media commentators, unfortunately, who said that nobody wanted to play in Indiana.
But wait, didn't Sheryl Swoops say this would never happen? Let's rewind a bit and really look at what went down. A few months ago, Sheryl Swoops sat on a podcast, fully convinced that Indiana Fever was doomed. She didn't just speculate, she straight up declared that no serious free agent would touch Indiana with a 10-foot pole. She went on about locker room drama, a supposedly toxic culture, and how players were avoiding the Fever like they had a losing curse. She said it with so much confidence, like she had the final word on the matter.
There's a lot of other shit going on that players are like, this ain't where I want to be.
Over there?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But here's the thing, reality just hit her like a freight train. Because now, Indiana Fever isn't just signing players, they're attracting top-tier talent like it's a championship-winning destination. Natasha Howard? Signed. DeWanna Bonner? Signed. Sophie Cunningham? Signed. Even Sydney Colson, one of A'ja Wilson's closest friends, made the move. These aren't just decent pickups, these are game-changing acquisitions. And the best part, it's happening right in front of Swoops' eyes.
By the way, every single narrative about the Fever, it's like whatever about them signing Sophie Cunningham, who they don't like. They love DeWanna Bonner.
If you told her a few months ago that elite free agents would be lining up to play for Indiana, she probably would have laughed. But the truth is, she misread the situation badly. The Fever isn't just surviving, they're thriving. And guess what? The reason why is crystal clear. And that brings us to the Caitlin Clark effect. Now let's get to the real reason behind all of this Caitlin Clark.
Like, no, but players who will be free agents next year, there's a lot of other shit going on that players are like, this ain't where I want to be.
She isn't just another rookie trying to make a name for herself. She's a game changer. Her impact isn't just about numbers on a stat sheet, although those are jaw-dropping too. It's about momentum. It's about influence. It's about taking the WNBA to a whole new level. When Sydney Colson was asked why she chose Indiana, she gave it to us straight. Kelsey Mitchell played a big role in her decision, but also, she heard nothing but great things about Caitlin Clark from her Aces teammate, Kate Martin. That's right, players are coming to Indiana because of Clark's reputation as a competitor, a leader, and a floor general who makes everyone around her better. This is what Swoops didn't see coming. She thought Caitlin Clark was just hype. She thought the transition from college to the WNBA would humble her. She thought Clark would struggle for years before making an impact. Years? Really?
Would you consider each of those 3 seasons as dominant seasons for yourself?
No.
Sheryl Swoops is willing to lie about her own career.
Caitlyn's out here putting up 40 points like it's a casual cardio session. She's leading the league in assists like she's been in the WNBA for a decade. She's selling out arenas in every city she plays and bringing in record-breaking ticket sales, boosting TV ratings, and getting people talking about the WNBA like never before. And now, players aren't just noticing, they're actively choosing to play alongside her. Free agents aren't avoiding Indiana anymore. They're flocking to it, knowing that playing with Clark means being part of something historic. And let's not forget Clark's not even in her prime yet. Imagine what she's going to be doing in 3 to 5 years. That's scary. The Indiana Fever's projected starting five is stacked with talent, experience, and pure star power. Running the show at point guard is Caitlin Clark, the generational talent everyone's been talking about. She's got the hype, the skills, and the leadership to take this team to the next level. Next to her in the backcourt is Kelsey Mitchell, a certified bucket getter and one of the best pure shooters in the game. If she gets hot, defenses are in serious trouble. Holding down the small forward spot is DeWanna Bonner, a veteran who does it all. She's a clutch performer, a defensive powerhouse, and the kind of leader every championship team needs. Bonner brings playoff experience, intensity, and the ability to step up when it matters most. She can score inside, stretch the floor with her shooting, and lock down top scorers on defense. Simply put, she's a nightmare matchup for opponents. At power forward, Natasha Howard brings toughness, defense, and big game experience. She's a rebounding machine and a defensive menace, always ready to do the dirty work to help her team win.
It's going to be Caitlin Clark Flash Show. So it's going to be phenomenal playing with a point guard, like you said, that have a good vision.
And in the paint, Aaliyah Boston is the future of the league. She's dominant down low, a defensive anchor, and has all the tools to be a future Hall of Famer. With her size, skill, and basketball IQ, she's set to be one of the best centers in the game for years to come. This team isn't just good, they're dangerous. They have chemistry, talent, and the hunger to win. The Indiana Fever is no longer just a young team trying to build for the future. They're ready to compete right now. And trust me, the rest of the WNBA is officially on notice. Whoa, you've made it this far. That must mean you're really enjoying the video, right? So why not take a quick second to hit that follow button? It's totally free, super simple, and helps us keep bringing you more awesome content, especially if you love the WNBA. Whether it's game highlights, player spotlights, or behind-the-scenes moments, we've got you covered. Plus, by following, you'll never miss a beat when it comes to your favorite teams and players. Go on, tap that follow now. All right, let's jump back in. With all this happening, where is Sheryl Swoops? Nowhere to be found. Silent. Amaya. It's almost like she packed her bags and took an extended vacation from reality. Let's be real, when the receipts come in and expose your takes as flat out wrong, it's tough to show face. There was even a game where the commentators started hyping up Caitlin Clark's mind-blowing performances. And guess what? Swoops sat there in complete silence for a full minute. Not a word. No acknowledgement. Just pure, awkward quiet. That's 60 whole seconds of dead air, folks. You could have heard a pin drop in the arena. That's how you know the level of hateration is reaching historic heights. It's like watching someone try to pretend they didn't just get dunked on in front of the whole crowd. And just when you thought it couldn't get more obvious, here's the kicker: when Indiana went head-to-head against the Dallas Wings, where was Swoops? Mysteriously pulled from the broadcast. Vanished. Gone. Coincidence? I don't think so. The timing is too perfect. It's almost as if she didn't want to be anywhere near that moment. But this raises the real question. Why is the old guard struggling so hard to accept Caitlin Clark's dominance? Well, let's talk about that next. So, why is the old guard struggling with Caitlin Clark? Let's just be real. A lot of WNBA veterans and legends aren't mad at Caitlin Clark because of her game. They're mad because she didn't wait in line. She didn't follow the so-called unwritten rules of how a rookie is supposed to enter the league. She didn't ask for permission. She didn't slowly work her way up, hoping to one day be accepted by the establishment. Nope. Caitlin walked in, flipped the script, and said, "Why wait?" She shattered records before even playing a professional game. She sold out arenas. She made the WNBA the biggest topic in basketball conversations, bringing in more eyeballs, more media attention, and yes, more revenue. And that burned some folks up inside. They weren't ready. They thought they had years, maybe even decades, before someone like Clark would change the game, but change doesn't wait. And Caitlin Clark, She's the embodiment of change. But here's the truth. She didn't steal the spotlight. She earned it. Every bit of success she's had so far is because of her talent, her work ethic, and her impact on the game. She didn't take shortcuts. She didn't ask for special treatment. She simply delivered. And now, whether the haters like it or not, she's the face of the WNBA. And she's just getting started. Indiana Fever isn't just making a run for the playoffs, they're making a statement. This is a team that isn't just here for a temporary glow-up. They're here to build something lasting. With Caitlin Clark at the helm and a roster stacked with talent, they're not just thinking about one championship. They're thinking about multiple banners hanging from the rafters. They're laying the groundwork for something special, something that could redefine the franchise for years to come. The Fever is no longer just a team trying to stay relevant. They are becoming the destination for top talent. Players aren't just coming here for a paycheck, they're coming here because they believe in what's being built. Caitlin Clark may be the centerpiece, but this is about more than just her. It's about winning at the highest level and creating a championship culture that rivals the best dynasties in WNBA history. The shift in Indiana is undeniable. Just a year ago, no one saw them as a contender. Now, they're one of the most talked about teams in the league, with a young core that's already proving its worth and veteran stars eager to chase rings. The Fever is putting the WNBA on notice. And make no mistake, this is only the beginning. The Fever's front office has been cooking. While other teams are stuck in neutral, trying to figure out their next move, Indiana's already miles ahead, building a dynasty from the ground up. They're not just signing good players. They're assembling a roster that could own the league for years to come. This isn't luck, this is strategy, vision, and execution coming together in the best way possible. And for those still doubting Caitlin Clark, I got some advice: get comfortable. Because this is just the beginning. She's only scratching the surface of her potential. And as she grows into the league, so will the Fever. The chemistry is forming, the experience is stacking up, and the momentum, unstoppable. When Caitlin Clark wins MVP in year 2, the meltdown from the old guard is going to be legendary. The excuses, the shifting narratives, the desperate attempts to downplay her impact, it's all going to be comedy gold. But no matter how loud the critics get, the results will speak for themselves. And if Sheryl Swoops still refuses to say Caitlin's name, well, that silence is going to be deafening. Because at some point, when the wins keep piling up and the trophies start rolling in, even the biggest doubters will have no choice but to acknowledge the greatness unfolding before their eyes. The Indiana Fever aren't just here to participate, they're here to dominate, they're here to change the game. And if you're not on board yet, you might want to move aside because this train isn't stopping. And there you have it, folks. The Indiana Fever just flipped the WNBA on its head. And Sheryl Swoops? Well, let's just say that silence is loud. Caitlin Clark and the squad are building something special, and the haters, they're just going to have to deal with it. But I want to hear from you. Did this free agency prove that Indiana is the next WNBA powerhouse? Who do you think is still sleeping on Caitlin Clark? Drop your thoughts in the comments. I'm reading every single one. And before you bounce, hit that like button, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you don't miss a single update. We're breaking down every move, every game, and every hot take in the WNBA. That's it for now. Stay tuned, stay hyped, and I'll catch y'all in the next one.